Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where today is a cool one because I'm going to be taking my SLS Black Series to go and visit a car collection that has not one, not two, not even three, but 4 SLS Black Series in the one collection. Now I'm actually going to check them out for a friend who's looking to purchase one, but it's located near to me, he currently can't travel, and of course I've got to know these things quite well. So I'm going to be heading down, we're going to have 5 out of the 350 Mercedes-Benz ever made of these together at once, all as well in different colours. My Mystic Blue plus Solar Beam Yellow, we've got a black one, a white one and a grey one too. Plus there are some other pretty cool cars lying in wait. Now the owner of the collection has very kindly allowed me to film it as well, and we can take a look also at I believe at least 1 if not 2 Novitec N-Largos plus some other Ferraris too. So let's hop on board the SLS, get out on the autobahns and go check out this garage and get all 5 of these together. Here in the garage in Germany, I currently have 2 cars as well as the SLS. We've also got the newly collected Oxford Green BMW M8 Competition. Now I have nearly completed the running in process for this car. For the first 2,000 kilometers, it needed to be taken pretty easily, but that is now just about ready, so the inspection service is booked in about a week or 2, and then it can be fully unleashed. But as well as both of these Shmeemobiles, they are soon to be joined by one of the others, which will be transported over from London to come here, and there'll be some more about that very soon. Now a fun fact, but very nerdy fact about this car being parked in space 67 is that 1967 was the year that Mercedes AMG was founded, so very appropriate to have this car right here where my AMG GTR used to live. You might remember that car actually had SH67 MEE on the number plate, something that will find its way onto another car in future, I am sure. But this car I've been using a lot, in fact very much following in the footsteps of that GTR. You might even notice there's a bit of a puddle underneath it at the moment because the last time I drove it a couple of days ago, the weather was horrific. I was on my way back from the trip up to the Netherlands. I'd done about 5,000 kilometers in this, but did about 1,500 kilometers in a couple of days. And as we got back here to Frankfurt, we drove through a hailstorm. The hailstones were about 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter in diameter, and I was genuinely worried that they might have damaged the paintwork. I actually wiped it down when I got back here into the garage out of the rain, just to make sure there weren't any kind of dents or any marks, but I think PPF has saved the day. All of the cars were diving under trees and trying to hide from the hailstones. But the car does need a clean. It's got some flies all around the front, but obviously 5,000 kilometers since the respray and about 6 weeks or so of driving. But the cars we're going to see today are basically very low mileage, almost delivery miles cars, something quite different to this, but it will be cool to have all of the different colours together. So let's hop on board then, get this started up, get ready to head out onto this drive where I am very excited for any opportunity. As you can see, 15,000 kilometers already. It was only 10,000 when I bought it. Any opportunity to have this car on the Autobahn is special, even more so to go and see some more SLSs. So let's come into life. Perfect, sounds so good. Half a tank, I think that should be enough to get me to where I'm going to be heading today. So let's get on the roads then, have some fun with this and go see some pretty special stuff. I've talked a few times in the past about coming straight out of Frankfurt and being on de-restricted autobahns long before a car is actually warm. Well, at the moment it is pretty much roadworks everywhere I go, which does mean sitting at 80 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, whatever it might be, for small stretches. But we will be heading out down towards the south, which does mean going down the stretch, where in the past I've done a few VMAX runs, the likes of the 675 LT, my AMG GTR has been there as well, back when it was tuned and had the Rentec upgrades, which of course this car is going to be seeing in the not very distant future as well. But for the moment, I think it's going to be probably a gentle afternoon drive with a little bit of traffic, and in fact, it's not being all that noisy right now as well. When you drive this car in comfort, it's actually really quite quiet. You just get those monumental shifts when you start to downshift, even if you just override it now. And it starts doing that behind you. It's so planted. Oh, we've got a traffic jam coming the other way, so we go out onto this stretch of Autobahn, which is conveniently de-restricted. But like I say, we need to get some heat into the car before we can completely accelerate away like mad. And as I said as well, it is also looking quite busy. Eyes out before pulling out. Like I've said, this is no garage green SLS by end. I'm using this car for everything as we cruise at 200 kilometers an hour. But one thing, and I've said this a few times, I have to shout, because of how short the gearing is in this car, how it's set up for track driving, we come towards a speed restricted section. It means that you're really high in the revs. 200 kilometers an hour there was up to about 5,000 RPM or so. which is not too far from the red line. It means that it's really, really loud. Anyway, I'm not complaining. It sounds awesome. He definitely doesn't care about the speed limited section at all. He's on it. Anyway, I'm going to take it easy. We will travel the journey then down towards the destination today to go and see all of these cars. Some open autobahn then, down to 5th gear, full flat. And I'm not saying this car is slow. When I recently drove the Manhart MH8-800, that was a different meaning of quick. I mean, that's 275 odd kilometers per hour. And it's so loud. This car is so loud. I tell you though, when it gets towards about 300, you very much feel like it's pushing into the wind. You can really, really feel that it's struggling towards the top end. Obviously, having downforce means you have drag, means that you take down the top speed. The regular SLS is faster in terms of top speed than the Black Series. This is ridiculous. Oh, this is much more track car. Anyway, I do enjoy this stretch an awful lot. We've got some more driving to go. I have arrived, which means it is time then to see not just one SLS Black Series, but a lineup of 4 more. This is not something you see every day. In this collection, we have the 4 SLS Blacks plus an AMG GTR, and that is not even all, because on this side, we have the Pista, the 812 N-Largo from Novitec, and a very nice colour on that Ferrari 458 Speciale as well. But take a look at that lineup. 4 different colours on the SLS Black Series, and actually 4 different specifications as well. There are some cool details to show you about these cars. 2 of them, the black car at the end, and also the satin silver car here, you might notice are a little bit different because these are without the Aero Kit, which is actually incredibly rare. Cars that don't have the carbon fibre flics around the front and the fixed rear spoiler as well. As you can see on the white and the yellow ones, you've got those carbon pieces and the wing back there, which is actually something I don't think I've previously seen. And we've got the silver one and the black one up at the end. There are a few other spec differences as well. These 2 both have the Bang & Olufsen sound system, which you can just spot from outside, which is a really nice option, but it did cost about 10,000 euros when the car was new. They also both have the carbon fibre engine bay covers, which I'd like to show you just now actually as well. Let's come through and open this up so I can give you a look at that. Now this car, despite appearances, is not actually a yellow car. This car is in the incredibly rare Le Mans red, but actually wrapped in yellow, and you can see some of the red when we open this up. You can see it on the frames underneath, but look at those carbon panels that you have over the top, and a few people had actually asked me about these because I don't have those on mine. It was another very expensive option to order when the car was new. They don't technically replace anything that's there on the other cars. Normally it would just be an open space, but you have those pieces at the back, down the side and across the front, which look really very nice. But like I say, I looked into ordering them for mine and it was more than £10,000. And technically they just add a little bit of weight to the car. So they do look beautiful, but you don't spend that much time looking at the engine bay. And I guess in a way, it's not really in line with the ethos of the car to add some weight back to it. Now you do have the full carbon of the bonnet, which is always really, really nice. So what else do we have then? Let me close this back down for the moment. You've got to give it a drop and bang it down into place. This car actually has the optional interior. You can see you've got the additional red Alcantara. You don't normally have those door panels and around the central console as well. That was the second of the 2 different interior specs that you could order for the SLS Black Series. The other, which is what I have on mine, oh no, this one is also with the red. Like I said, I need to just work out which specs are on which cars. I think the black one is locked at the moment, but normally, yeah, they're all locked at the moment. You can tell whether the door handles are popped out or not. We've also got a slight difference with the wheels. These have the full satin black wheels. This was actually the standard wheel on the SLS Black, the satin black with the diamond cut satin face, which is basically what we then did with mine, but with silver instead of satin black, to make them a little bit different and more unique. So this is really, really special. Like I said, I've come here to study 1 or 2 of these in particular, to inspect them a little bit more. But in addition to those 4, we do have the AMG GTR, which is always incredibly cool. And then we've got these 3 Ferraris. The Pista looks oh so good, the newest, I guess, of the hardcore mid-engine V8 supercars. The Novitec N-Largo 812, of which they only made 18. This is car number 2. I've seen them a few times when I've been to visit Novitec and heard them a few times. And if I come round towards the back, the thing with this car is when you realise quite how wide it is. It's about 15 centimetres wider than the standard 812. Look at this. Look at how much extra body is worn by that, the wide body kit. And then we've got this Gonzalez red 458 Speciale, this dark red, very expensive option, but I think it suits the car really well, especially with the nut stripe and the dark titanium wheels. So this is a pretty cool collection then, isn't it? How often do you see that? Not often at all, let alone joined as well by all of these others. 5 SLS Black Series cars all together. Absolutely crazy. So starting up the AMG GTR, because the plan right now is to bring mine in and have the line of 5 together. Oh yeah, the squeaking of the tyres on the floor. So I'm going to pull my car in and make a line of all 5, which is going to look absolutely insane. So yeah, so let me come on out and bring this back into life to take it on inside. And in here, I'm not gonna lie, the 6.2 sounds better than the new twin turbo unit. So let's take this in. How amazingly cool then is that view? 5 Black Series, 2 different owners, mine joining this little lineup. That's really special. I don't think there will have been 5 SLS Black Series together other than at the press launch back in 2013 at Paul Ricard. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure if I've seen any photos. Maybe there have been some owners gatherings along the way, but that's really pretty special. That's quite something when it comes as a lineup, and you can see the difference in my wheels as well. Obviously looking very dirty right now, all with the gold carbon ceramics. But my silver wheels, that's how they looked before, and I'm very pleased with that choice. I know some people aren't, it's a controversial topic, but I love the silver against the dark blue. I think if you have a yellow car, black works really well, likewise on a white car, but I like the silver on the black one at the end. I think on a satin silver car, I'm not sure which way I would go, but on mine, I do like this look an awful lot. Yeah, that's quite special. That's quite something. You do not see 5 in a row very often. All the cars are covered back up, which means it is just about time to go. But one thing I have noticed about the covers on the SLS Black Series, which manufacturers don't normally think about, is whether you have the winged cars or the non-Aero Kit cars, it actually has a slightly different cover so that it actually fits flush over the back. That might sound obvious, but most car companies would just make the one cover that kind of fits with both. So it's quite a nice detail when it comes to those. Obviously all the Ferraris back under their red ones as well. And time for me to get this out so that the AMG GTR can be popped back in. So what a visit, what an amazing little collection here. Done all of the things that I needed to do as well. But for now, back into the Black Series on the Autobahns, heading back home. Out on the Autobahn again, where it is now drizzling, which is not so much fun, but this car is very much serving daily driving duties, whatever the weather might be. I'm taking it quite easy, and to be fair to the collection, by the way, I had been under the impression that all of the cars might have basically been delivery mileage cars. In fact, one is, the others have all been used. The owner clearly likes the SLS Black Series an awful lot. It kind of rotates between them, driving each one, but probably not in conditions like this. They're more of an investment and a collection than, say, the daily car in the way that I use this. Now on this drive, I'm just sitting at 160 kilometers an hour, which is about 100 miles per hour, and still cars are basically just flying past and overtaking. But the one thing about this car, which you can tell even now at this speed, we're still at 4,000 RPM, and it is very loud. I do basically have to shout it here because the way it's geared, the way 7th gear is set up with the dual clutch, is very much for being on racetrack, not being on Autobahn and Grand Touring. But that doesn't change my love for it. I think this car is so exciting because whenever you do get somewhere that is fun to drive, and you start doing this, I'm just going to take it a little bit easy. It also has massive amounts of engine braking, as you probably expect as well from the gearing and the way it's set up. The weather looks like it might get really miserable ahead of me, but I don't have too far to go to get back home. I just hope that this is going to be a nice see you cruise. Anyway, that was epic. A huge thanks goes to Peter from Supercar Leaks and Chris from the Car Finders, who actually helped me to find this car and to check over this car as well, helping him back to arrange all the introduction as well to go and visit today, which was super, super cool. I'll pop down Supercar Links and the Car Finders as well down below. Big, big thanks to the owner. Really, really cool to have had the opportunity to see all of these SLS Black Series cars together. Really special, along with the other stuff too. So thank you very much for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support, but that's it for now. I will make my way back home and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!